and welcome to the Hope and Angel Reaction. So this is a show where we watch the videos
and we analyze videos using media theories for
102. So Angel, and mga netizens natin. So, skin whitening has always been an obsession for teenagers and ladies alike here in the country.
You're right, Hope, because explanation is, as the market sees the need of the consumers to have white skin, they produce products na, of course, that makes us feel na ang pagiging morena ay hindi katumbas ng pagiging maganda. So, to fully inculcate that notion or that mindset to us, to the Filipinos, especially to the morena community, big corporations of beauty and skincare products make use of mass media to influence us in the motion that we have to have white skin.
I totally agree with you, Angel. As someone who grew up with morena skin and with this curly hair, very Filipino talaga yung features. When I see these videos when I was growing up, I had this idea na parang may kulang sa akin, na may mas lalong ikagaganda ako kapag puputi yung skin ko or magsa-straighten yung hair ko. So parang kasalanan ko pa na ipinangalan ko sa ganitong body, sa ganitong skin color, sa ganitong hair. Yeah, that's the reason why today we'll be watching videos of advertisements that are all for skin whitening, right? So, what are we waiting for? Let's go. Video, we'll be watching an ad by Skin White at ang bida,
no other than a vlogger like us too, Alex Gonzaga. And muna nga, this particular ad might be very familiar to you because for me, kapila ko naman siya nakita sa TV and very migil sa pagwa.
Yeah, okay, so
akala ko pumuputi, puputi ng puputi pag naarawan na uli, iitim pala uli.
Try 2-in-1 Black and White. May whitening na, may SPF pa. Para sa mga ayaw umitim.
2-in-1
Black and White.
okay.
KSS siya partner, di ba?
Nagka-LSS siya, pero naugot ko sila sa video partner. Kaya like, sa Pilipinas, wala istal, wala akong choice, kundi mainitan.
Yeah.
Diba? Tapos, si Madam Alex Gonzaga, bongga, git siya, like, mag-init.
Kamulang ni kagamay nga, ay, gid siya dayon.
Hindi mo siya pimanikawan na maitom ka. Actually, it's not really true man nga kinanangkin yung maputik given the climate of our country and the weather and everything else. Hindi malikawan na maitom kita. No? So, let's proceed to the next video.
Okay, so for the second video, actually this is not a video, this is gonna be a print ad from Glutamax.
Yeah, and very controversial ni siya. It can be seen sa billboard, social media. So, grabe pag-release ng Glutamax kasi like all media outlets are sa social media, print ad, hindi sa newspapers and all those things. Pero, grabe yung content. So, naging very controversial siya. So, let's see why it's controversial.
Ang muna nga print ads, partner, na silang kita kung may 3 in 5 Filipinos, may pa-stats sila. Pero I think, ang pag-use nila sa stats is very wrong. Parang ginagawa nga, like, you have to be white, you have to have fair skin to deserve a better treatment from others.
So, kung maghambal siya gali sa ad niya, maputi lang pinapaupo sa bus. So, never din kayo makaupo sa bus, sister. Kuya.
Bakal ka na lang pharmacist.
Oo, bakal lang mo Glutamax. Ito muna, I mean, wala may correlation ng fact na papupuon ka sa bus, yung mga skin color.
Yeah.
Dapat ano man yung matsura, ano man yung skin color, bayi ka man, laki ka man, gulang ka man, bataon ka man. You know, you deserve to sit in the bus.
Yeah, right.
Diba? So, Glutamax, tapak naman dyan. Tsaka.
Wala.
Next video. Okay, now we're on our third and final video. This time, we're gonna go international.
International.
Yeah, international ad. But instead of watching the ad itself, we're gonna watch a news clip explaining why it became very controversial and at the same time, bigdala naman siyang clips and ads. It's by a very famous beauty company.
Yes. This beauty company is Dove.
Yeah, so come on guys, let's go watch the video.
Dove is apologizing for an advertisement that triggered backlash on social media. The image appears to show an African-American woman turning white after using their product. The photo was quickly criticized as racist. Dove has since pulled the ad. The company apologized on their Facebook page, writing, "Dove is committed to representing the beauty of diversity. In an image we posted this week, we missed the mark in thoughtfully representing women of color, and we deeply regret the offense that it has caused."
Okay, ano sa mo partner?
Kung ako lang yung partner sa Muningan News Report, no, very disappointing din siya because we all know naman how big Dove is as a company. Recognized mo sa internationally. So, para silang i-release ang Muninga kinds ng advertisement without parang thinking it through. Very disappointing lang din siya sa akin. And
actually, pero at least we should recognize their efforts man of apologizing. Kaya na-realize mo nila nga, yes, it's really racist nga pag-ubay. Nagamit ko daw. Nag-release ko t-shirt ka. Puti na ko ba? Nagputi ka na tsura mo. Pero actually, partner, there are theories, media theories that actually explain this ads, why it was framed this way, and ano ang gina-imply niya sa aton ng culture, sa aton belief, sa aton ng norms, and how we see beauty. So without further ado, let's go to the theory. Exciting!
According to Britannica, cultural imperialism is defined as the imposition by one usually politically or economically dominant community of various aspects of its own culture onto another non-dominant community. In this case, we are the non-dominant community, while there are colonizers before, like the US and Spain, can be considered as a dominant community. Here today in our society, it's very evident that in our standards of beauty, when you have white skin, you are considered beautiful. That is the reason why, historically speaking, when you are a mestiza, you are considered to be a better Filipino, to become a more beautiful Filipino. And having chocolate brown skin means you are inferior as compared to them. So this kind of idea and notion affects our social practices even today. That's the reason why when we were growing up, we weren't allowed to play under the sun or go swimming under the sun because we were too scared to go dark. When in actual truth, our natural skin color is actually chocolate brown because that's how Filipinos are. So with this kind of notion, we can see how Western ideology of beauty dominates our culture today and even in the past. In simple words, the idea of culture in this case, the Western ideology of having white skin, has great unreciprocated influence on that of another, less powerful entity to a degree that one may speak of a measure of cultural domination. So when one talks about cultural imperialism, we must also incorporate the notion of media imperialism. Here we can see that the content of the ads, may it be print, electronic, or digital, really is for the Western ideology of beauty. And when it comes to the means of production and industrialization and distribution, when we go to supermarkets, it's very difficult for us to find something na hindi labeled na skin whitening because the means of production is controlled by those people who capitalize on our idea of being white is equal to being beautiful. And second of all, media evokes cultural meanings in our culture that tells us and inculcates to us that being morena is inferior and that being morena means that you need to whiten your skin for you to be more accepted in the society. Then third, here audience and media interaction in the representation of topics, people, and ideas tell us how beauty is represented in our society in such a way that is different from the image of a Filipino. Beauty is represented in a way na sa image ng Westerners and not sa image natin. So here we can see that there is relationship between media corporations and other centers of power in the reproduction and shaping of social systems by just merely seeing the sales of these products and how ads affect our social systems and social practices. because mass media indeed plays a big role in cultural imperialism.
Since we're talking about cultural imperialism, I guess we should also talk about cultural hegemony as well. Cultural hegemony refers to domination or rule maintained through ideological or cultural means. It is usually achieved through social institutions which allow those in power to strongly influence the values, norms, ideas, and behavior of the rest of society. The domination of the notion that everyone should have a white skin is in this case perpetuated through mass media in the form of advertisements. It functions by framing the worldview of the ruling class, which is the Western culture, as just, legitimate, and designed for the benefit of all. Even though these structures may only benefit the capitalists who sells the idea of white skin as beautiful, pure, and youthful. Basically, cultural hegemony is the control of culture through domination of social groups via social institutions. Simply put, cultural hegemony is a type of hegemony that serves to police society in a way that is unnoticeable to the dominant group and is perpetuated as the parameters of what to think and how to think about it.
So here in our country today, makikita natin na may mga effort na talaga sa pag-break ng status quo when it comes to beauty standards. One of which is through a blog called The Morena Movement, which basically shares stories of every woman of every color. Second, in social networking sites like Instagram, we have morena.ph. It's an account that appreciates dark skin. And lastly, we have the very famous movement, Magandang Morena X, which is basically how people of dark skin were able to empower themselves by sharing stories of their struggles, the process of getting over with the beauty standards in the country, and redefining what is really beauty, one that goes beyond skin color. So this could be explained by the theory called counter-hegemony, the way people develop ideas and discourse to challenge dominant assumptions, beliefs, and establish patterns of behavior. So this could be observed not only sa mga online movements, but also in ads. Like for example, Dove, when we started the video, it was criticized for having a racist video. But today, we can see the rise of ads na ginagawa ng Dove na dedicated in celebrating beauty in various size and various colors. They are trying now to break the notions they once inculcated when it comes to beauty standards.
Okay, so before we end our video for today, hope na diba hindi na init akong kape, I'd like to ask, ano yung mga learnings and key takeaways from what we did today?
We are media students and at the same time, magiging media practitioners to someday. So it's just right for us to get to know all about this theories, as much as possible know it by heart, because dapat i-apply na siya in our everyday lives. Because like ads, we get to see them every day and everywhere. So if we get to know about all these theories, how to make use of them, someday when we create our own ads, create our own materials, we would get to know how we would make use of these theories in our profession someday. But other than that, it also relies on the person and how we make use of these theories and how we make use of the power of media. So someday, tani kita, no? Hindi kita maging salot sa lipunan. Kag hindi kita mag-into-into ng tao gamit sa aton nga mga power sa media, learning sa media. But we would make use of media in such a way that would be beneficial for all.
I couldn't have said it any better, partner. So, I end it.
So, that's all, Ma'am Charmy, and our section there.
Yeah, so,
That's all for today. See you on our next video. Hopefully not. Parang yung last assignment din naman. Bye!